Hello everyone, welcome to today's Industry Solutions webinar. My name is Lisa Stewart and I'm the Marketing and Communications Coordinator at 12D Solutions. 12D's Industry Solutions webinars are designed to provide insights into overcoming challenges in an evolving industry in more effective and efficient ways. We'll keep running these webinars regularly and recording them for posting on our YouTube channels with links through our website. Our previous webinars from this Industry Solutions series, as well as those from our training series, are available online if you missed those. During this presentation, you'll be able to type your questions along the way, as shown on the screen, and we'll answer as many as possible throughout the webinar. At the end, I'll read out some of your questions to the presenter if there's time. Today's webinar, our first for 2020, is called 2019 in Review and What's in Store for 2020. It will be presented by our co-founder and managing director, Dr. Lee Gregory, who has nearly 40 years of experience in the civil software industry. Lee will take you through our 2019 journey and discuss some of the exciting things we have coming up in 2020, such as our bigger than ever technical forum this August. Over to you, Lee.
Thank you, Lisa. And welcome everyone to the 2019 in Review webinar and to see if some things that are coming in 2020. But first, I just want to mention the current Australian bushfires, because many of you know that some of our offices in Sydney and Perth are very, very close to the bush, and the 12D staff and friends are volunteer firefighters. And I'll just let you know that so far we are all safe. As I'm actually a bush firefighter and now staying out of the action, I stay very, very safe and only do pile burns, local hazard reductions, but I'm heavily involved in firefighting training. But other staff, such as Alistair from our Perth office and our local crews, are on the front of the firefighting. And they're going out regularly on 1-day, 2-day, 3-day and 5-day strike teams all around the states that are facing horrendous conditions. So here's one of our local trucks, my one from Dusty's Forest, heading into some of these bushfires. And even at night, they have to work on them. They're just horrendous to be looking at. They've never seen such big fires before. That's what the ones who are very experienced have been telling me. And some of these pictures is actually daytime, but it's so dark that you can't even see anything. So to everyone, thanks to those around the world who've been helping out with the firefighting. People have been coming around from everywhere, and also for making donations to the firefighting effort. And if any of our users have their hardware locks destroyed in the fires, please contact any of our officers so we'll replace them for you free of charge. So far, as I say, we've all been safe. I haven't heard of any of our fire or users' houses and things being destroyed or any injuries, and we just all hope it continues that way. So we'll now look at what's happened in the last 12 months. We have our resellers each year, and we work on the financial year, so that goes up to last June the 30th, 2019. So for 12D model, the reseller of the year this time is EXDS, who look after New South Wales, ACT and South Australia. And for them, 2019 was a record year. For 12D Synergy, 12D Queensland, led by Lincoln, was the reseller of the year. And again, that was a record year for 12D Synergy. Now looking at 12D 2019 in review, we'll look at some of the things like 12D model, and the 12D websites have just had continuous updates. We've been running, as Lisa mentioned, a lot of industrial webinars for everybody, some training webinars, which have been very, very well attended. Putting up more and more YouTube things on 12D model and 12D Synergy channels, so you can play things later on at your leisure. And of course, we still do have perpetual licenses. We have not shut the gate on you there. You can have perpetual and or subscription licenses for 12D model. And we've also produced a whole lot more 12D model summary reports, and I'll show these later on, just to give you an idea what they're about. They're so you can see what we've been adding in much more quickly and easily. There's one-line descriptions. We've also continued enhancements for 12D model 14. We are now developing 12D Model 15, which is going to be released at the conference, Technical Forum in 2020. 12D View has continued to have more enhancements done to it. And again, 12D View 15 is getting ready for the release later on the year. 12D Synergy 4, again, it's had updates coming out, and we'll discuss those a bit later on. And they'll have 12D Synergy 5, which is under development as well, ready for release at the Technical Forum. And our trainers have been working for the last about 3 years, putting together new training courses and a data set that can be used throughout all the courses. So that's going to make it fantastic for everyone doing the training and examples that they can look at. So it's a much, much larger data set than our old favourite Barwin, but I think you'll all enjoy using it. Now, what's coming for 2020? We'll discuss the 12D Technical Forum, which is on later this year in August. The Innovation Awards, which you're able to put in and win some valuable prizes. We'll also discuss, at the Technical Forum, we'll be releasing 12D Model 15. Also, 12D View 15 will be released at the Technical Forum. 12D Synergy 5 will be released at the Technical Forum. And we'll have a lot more training, industry solutions and training webinars over the year. And there'll be new training course topics as well to add to the huge list of trainings available. So I'll actually go into some of these items in more detail for you. With our website, as I said, it's being continuously updated. Although this is a snapshot at the moment, you'll probably find in a few weeks' time it'll even look slightly more different as we remove older things and put the new things in. As far as the webinars, if you click on the 12D webinars box, it'll actually come up with a list of them that have been coming, and also ones that have also already been on. But the list is so big now, it's been separated into the upcoming industry solutions and the upcoming training ones. And the links are then added on once the webinar's over. We post them on YouTube so you can look at them at a later date. So even if you missed out, they're always up there if you look at it in the future or to go and revisit. A 12D blog. Now this is probably new that a lot of you don't know about, and if you go into community, there's a section on there called blog, and if you click on that, that will take you to the blog page, where our blogger is our blogger is regularly posting things, information of interest for you to go and through and read. With 12D model training, again, we've been busy as ever doing training. And if you click on that, it'll take you to the website where you can click which area you want to do that you're looking for training for, and that'll come up and give you a list of all the courses that are available. So you can then go and click on to register. And the big difference now is that when you do so, if you click on the register or the limited link, limited just means that there's not many places left, and it then brings up an online form so you can register online. Now, they are all our courses that we're offering to everybody, but we also can have in-house courses. So if you'd like to do an in-house course, just contact us and we'll find one for you and come to your office and run them. And as a bonus for all of our users, we will not be increasing our training price for 2020. So what the prices were, they're staying the same. So you're not going to be any more out of pocket when you do your training in 2020. On our forum website, we also have our 12D newsletters. So again, under community, it's got there, you'll see newsletter. If you click on that, and it takes you to a page where it's got a lot of the the latest and a lot of the previous things to get. The Dirt Digger itself, that's our newsletter's name, the Dirt Digger, because most of our customers are involved in digging dirt, is actually produced every 6 months. And on the forum post there, or on the web post there, the current issue is there, and also a whole lot of back issues which you can click on and see online, or you can download them as PDFs so you can keep them and work and look at them offline. Our 12D model forum, which has been running for a number of years now, you can actually click on there under 12D forum on the website to go to it. And it hasn't actually changed for a while, but I'll talk about that shortly. But it's got all sorts of people can post questions and get answers and things. And it's got our 12D model upgrades. They're posted there under the 12D model software downloads per portion. We do also post the upgrades on our website, but that is usually later on. We like to be tested out a lot more, and then eventually we put it up. So if you want it nice and early, this is the place to go, to our 12D model forum. And you'll see there, when you click on the section, that will give you the latest version 14s, the latest 12D view, and the latest version 12 for you to download and install. But very shortly, and hopefully by the end of this month, we will be upgrading our 12D model forum. So it'll have a different look and feel to make it much easier and to make up for some of the problems that were in the older version of the forum. And to be more secure, the new 12D model forum will require new and longer passwords. So everyone is going to have to go in there and give a new password. So what I want you to do, though, for all 12D model forum users, please check that the email in your forum profile is correct, because if you can't get on, because all the passwords are going to change, you're going to click on I forgot my password, and then you'll be sent a temporary password so you can get into the forum and then change your password to the one you want. But of course, if we don't have your correct email address there, you won't get that message. If you run into problems like that, just contact our office and we'll start trying to organize things for you. So look forward to the end of January, a new looking 12D model forum. You'll know it's different because it'll be a different color, it'll be a blue color, but a lot of the other information will still be there exactly as before. We continue posting 12D videos on YouTube, and all our training webinars and other ones are posted there. So again, you can go and play them at your leisure or at any time. We have been posting on a different section our Technical Forum 2016 videos, but now we've released all of those, and to see them you had to then actually register. But now that they've all been done, we will be posting them eventually on the YouTube as well, so you can get access to them at any time. On the YouTube channel, there are now over 600 12D videos, and the XCS have a number as well, so there's probably 700 or 800 altogether. We also have this 12D Synergy videos, so the number just increases for you to go through and look at things in your own leisure. With 12D Model 14, we released that actually the last technical forum, and it has now been out for a little while. But what happens is we continuously update it, and we put these things out as subversions. We start with CA, and then we come out with CB, CC, and so on. So even though we released the once, we continue for the next about 18 months after release to come out with new things. And I'll go through some of those for you and show you how you can get a bit of a list of what these things are. So some of the things that have come out since we first released version 14, and one is just called 12D Model What's New Summary Reports. Now, what these are about is allow you quickly with one-liners on all the things we've added in that you can see what has been added to 12D Model. And we've actually got a number of different reports, and I'll just go through them to allow you to get information in different ways, because at different times you want to be able to access what's changed in different ways. So there's the standard one where we just produce everything, and it's sort of by what we call components. So here's just a little bit of it where it's showing the things that were added into, say, the macros or macro language, and some of the things that have been added in MTF. In this case, it's for all of version 14. So that's one sort of report, and it's broken into some of our components we use when we're coding. But we also have it where we can sort it by the 12D subversion. So in this case, it's showing which things are in 14 C2F, and it'll also give you what's in basically 14 C1A, B, C, D, all the subversions. So you can just quickly look at that list and see what's been added into that subversion. It also, I'm showing you what's new there, we also have a list of the bugs that have been fixed. And again, for each of the things, so either by subsection or for everything. So And we put these up on our 12D forum when we release things, so you can go through and see what's actually coming out and when it's time and if you want to upgrade. We also have another interesting one, which is the summary report, but it's sorted in reverse date order of things being added to the product. Where that is useful is you can look down the list there and you're seeing the things that have gone in more recently. So that's one way, instead of just seeing a list and wondering when was that put in, this actually gives you the date. So if we put up release candidates, things like that, people can just see what's already going in almost on a daily basis. There's another final one, and this is where it's sorted by components like the original, but it's then sub-sorted by reverse date. So in this one, you can actually see, yes, everything that's in, say, macros or MTF, but it has then ordered them in release date order. So again, you can see the newer things. So again, it's another way of just being able to look in a time sequence to see what extra things we've added. So there's some of the new reports that we post at various times. The one that shows everything's been added, that's usually available from inside 12D model itself under the help. So that you don't have to go to a website. Some of these others we post when we actually post 12D model itself, so you can just have a look at them. Now, some of the things that we have added since it was first released, I'm just doing some of the things, because most of these things will also have training webinars that we'll do on them to go through in much more detail. But just a few of the little things that I've got from those lists. One is there's a retaining wall option. So this allows you to put down this stage block retaining walls, so much more accurately, as most of our people now are starting to do a lot more structures work. Where that might be done elsewhere, they can do it very rapidly in 12D model, so they have all that information to work in their designs. So the retaining wall is one of these. We also have one for creating an edited water main, and what this is all about, it starts knowing about what bends you allow, horizontal and vertical, so you only put those things in. It shows you what you're going to get when you put it in. It's very dynamic, so for constructing a water main. Since a lot more of our users, where they once upon a time just did it as a 2D thing in CAD, they're now doing it properly with all this extra information for showing where it is in both horizontally and vertically, and only allowing certain bends. There's the inlet capacity calculator, which is based on the HEC22, so you can actually work those things out now. There's also the Lawrenson hydrology that's been added into the water. A lot of Australians use the Lawrenson hydrology, and so it's now available for you. On the BIM side, and there's obviously a lot of other things in 12D model earlier on, but these are just some of them. We've added in ADAC 5, ADAC 4.1 and ADAC 4.2 are there before, but we've added in the newer ones, ADAC 5, which is now out there and starting to be used. ADAC is used by lots of councils and authorities, and it is a BIM system because all the information's there in a file in 3D with lots of attributes. So if you can do ADAC, then you're well on your way for any BIM system people ask about. We've also got in there IFC 4x3. That's the beginning of what's called civil BIM. And in this case, you then have an alignment and TINs as a fundamental IFC element. So really, if anyone's looked at IFCs and the whole BIM thing, it's mainly been for buildings, for vertical things. And people have realized this, so the international committees are now adding in civil things so we can put exactly what we need out there rather than having to approximate them, which always is a bit of a horror. So this is the beginning of it, and IFC 5, which I'll talk about later, it will be released later on this year, which will have a lot more civil BIM in it. And we've got a number of options there to help set out from BIM. If the BIM's been done in 12D model, we have a lot more information. Even our tri-meshes have all the strings and things potentially that created them if it's done from an MTF. But when you're just given a file from someone else, an IFC file of BIM data, it's often hard to set it out. So there's a number of options to do things like show contours, try and chase down edge details, which you need for setting out. Another thing that's been added in more recently is a new Bluetooth connection for 12D field. This was something that we're getting ready for version 15, but we've had so many people having problems with Bluetooth with the various other things there. We sat down and wrote our own from scratch. So it should be, we know exactly what's going on. We're not worried about things being upgraded all the time when there's new installs and things stop working. So because of our 12D field people, connecting with Bluetooth is now the major way rather than with radios, since it's much cheaper to do. You'll see much more improvements there with that. So as I say, it was for 15, but we've brought it back just to make everyone's life easier. So that's a very, very important one. There's lots and lots of other things too in 12D field, which again, I won't mention them here because we'll be doing them in webinars. A few things in MTFs that you might find interesting. And this first one's another one that was brought back from V15. When people are doing large MTF jobs, it takes a lot of swap space to be able to do it, but we've worked on it very hard to really reduce that amount of swap space required. So it makes much less extra space you need on your computers. And that really made a big speed ups over networks. Because the less information going across networks, things go much faster. So that's a major thing that we brought down for 15, and I think everyone will find fantastic. We've also done things that you can trim links to tri-meshes. Before you could do it to tins, but now you can trim them to tri-meshes. There are smart changes using the water node. This was something that a gentleman asked for at our last technical forum, and it's now in there for people. There's pram ramps and other types of things like that that now have to be added in. So we've added that in there to make it much more easy to do so. You can just answer some questions and automatically gets put in to the tri-meshes and things that are produced in your MTF. We've also added in snippet encryption and a whole host of other things. So I just picked one or two things out here that would be easy to explain to you. Now, another thing is the multi-page plots, or MPS. As you know, that was probably in 12 as MPS, but it was totally rewritten for version 14 to allow it to much more interactive and allow you to do things. And there's been a lot of continued work on that as we have more and more of our customers being able to produce all their work, all their drawings and drafting into PDF using MPS, and allows you to combine cross sections, long sections, lots of different plans, and it's also got 3D PDF in there. So if people didn't realize that, you can actually put a frame in there which you can have a 3D data in, which is the 3D PDF, so people then can rotate it and zoom around and do things like that. So all these things are available in the version 14 MPS. And a few things we've added in just more recently is geospatial info for plan frames. What that is when you've got a PDF in there, there's information about its longitude and latitude as you wander around in a plan image. So if you've loaded this PDF out in the field on some of your, in lots of software, on Android, and I think also on some of the Apple products, you can actually see where you're wandering around just automatically because it's been geospatially, information is there. So that's an excellent one for going out into the field with just any old device. The CSV file for drawing registers, before you had to have an Excel file itself, and that you get lots of problems with 32-bit, 64-bit problems with Microsoft. So you can now use a CSV file there for drawing register as well. This was available in our other plots, but we've now added it in for MPS as well. There are a lot more dollar variables with special chapters, and even in general, where things like before you had a scale, and of course, when you only had one thing on a view, there was one scale, but now you might have lots of different things on the same page, long sections. You might have also lots of plan things. And so now you're able to tailor a lot more and have dollar scale, say, for all the different ones. And a lot of the other things, if there's special chapters so that you know which chapter you're in, and it can lead into how the pages are called and so on. So special chapters have become very important. And for those who don't know what a special chapter is, this is where you can have, say, using your long section PPF, which might be from 1 to 100 pages, you can say, right, inside my MPS, I want a chapter which uses that long section PPF, or another chapter which is a cross section PPF, and we automatically work out how many pages are going to be into it. So when you're even numbering in your MPS, it automatically looks after that for you. So it's very, very important. We've also get lots of messages in the output window, and we put the grouping of them in there, so it squeezes down what you see there in the output window, and then you can expand them at any time. It makes this so many good things that are in MPS, and they've been added since we released it with version 14, that we're going to have a special MPS webinar, which will be scheduled in near future, just to go through them all and just show you how they all work together. One thing you'll find very, very interesting is FME, which is a product put by Safe Software. It's used a lot for reading in data and writing out in other formats. So it's used around the world, and a lot by GIS people, but in other people in general, since it can be used to convert between lots and lots of different formats. Well, what's happened there is that we've been working with Safe Software to integrate and read our industry standard 12D XML format, because the 12D XML format is a text file. It's all published. So it's a published available schema, or PAS as they say. Hence, the FME will be able to look at that and do it without having to get any special DLLs or permission or whatever, because it's all out there in the public. So that's what we work with them. And so basically they wanted to streamline for people the conversion and transfer of metadata-enabled models, so i.e. you can take attributes and things like that between 12D model and, say, GIS systems. And it will actually look at, for superstrings, not only just attributes for the whole string, which most systems only can take, it also can look at vertex attributes and segment attributes. So if those people giving data to other groups like GIS people, you'll be able to give them actually 12D XML file of your data, and then the people using FME who have the GIS system, they can then pick and choose what they want out of it and how they want to put it into a new naming convention or how they want it in their system. So that decision then can be made at the receiver's end rather than you having to do it all at the earlier on. And sometimes when you do it earlier on, a lot of the information they want and don't realize they want is thrown away. So this allows them to send as much information as you want, the full 12D model data, and then they can pick and choose at their leisure. So it's very, very, I think, important for around the world. And Safe had then recently announced that in FME 2019.2, which is out, it actually can read the 12D XML format, and that they expect in early 2020, they'll also be able to write 12D XML. So any of the data in a GIS system, again, you could use the FME product, and most people who have GIS, like councils and things, have FME, so they'll be able to then get data into a 12D XML format to ship and give to you, rather than have some other way that might be not well defined. So for everybody, I think that's going to be a great benefit for everyone for getting data in and out of other systems where you can give them native 12D model XML data and also receive it from them. So we're very, very excited about that development. Now again, we've got our civil BIM and digital engineering. Now we keep going on about this, and why I go on about it is the whole making BIM civil sort of thing, is that it's only now that BIM is starting to add in the civil concepts, things like an alignment, things where a tin, or using linear referencing. And by that we mean being able to define things with chainage offset. Now, that is one of the most important things in the civil, that you have to be able to say what something is in chainage offset. Hence, that's why alignment's been done very early on, because all the groups that got together with things that are coming out in IFC 5, there's one for roads, there's rail, there's tunnels, there's bridges, and so on. The first thing they all said is if we don't have an alignment, then we won't be able to really do work properly. So hence, that's one of the first things which we've worked on and have done alignment in IFC, say, 4x3. So as I say, once we've got the alignment, then a lot more things can come into the civil BIM. So it's going to be an exciting 2020 as these things start coming out from the international standards, from Building Smart for the industry foundation classes, which will finally match what we do in civil rather than just the vertical buildings world. So we've been very active in defining this civil infrastructure BIM. I've been attending, and others, to these Building Smart International forums where these things are designed and done. The next one's in Oslo. The last one was in Beijing. And we're also involved in then testing out a lot of the things to see before the standard comes out whether they're correct or not. So we've been a very active one on there on an IFC roads one. We also did, and we did this earlier on with TMR, a pilot project for alignment 1.1 to test whether definitions were okay. That was actually a couple of years ago, but now they're starting to be all used inside the civil IOC 5, which is, say, due later this year. So there's lots of things that will finally be happening in the civil BIM side of the world. So you'll be able to put out the data that you really want to put out and not have to approximate it in some strange way. Now, 12D View. I did a webinar on this recently, and I'll just take some of the major points from it. For those who don't know, 12D View is a free 12D modeling project viewer. So you can look at projects. It's a read-only. You can't save things away, but you can look at it, and you can create views and things, everything that you do in 12D model virtually for looking at data, inquiries and things like that. A big thing we added in since it was first released with 14 is that, yes, you can use your existing 12D model 12 or 14 authorization with 14, so you don't even have to have a 14 authorization. You can use an existing 12D view authorization where you have to send in and get it and it registers it for that particular computer. But the big thing we've added in is it can run unregistered. So even if there's no registration there, you can still run 12D view wherever you are on whatever machine you're on. So basically, when it does run unregistered, it comes up with just a warning to say it's unregistered. And the client, because we don't have anything from a nodes file to say who the client is, it just says unregistered user of 12D view. But then it just continues on, just like a normal 12D view. So that's a big thing, I think, that came out during the year, that now anyone can use 12D view at any time without having to register first. The other thing we've added in is it can now read in lots of data. So yes, you can show data, but you can read in various data files in 12D view, so you can look at them. So for example, we were able to read in 12D XML, 12DA data. We also can read in some DWG, GenIO, and things like that. We can read in IFC data and ADAC data. So BIM data in both those formats. So you can read them in, look at them, inquire on them inside 12D view. Now, to make things even easier there, because you think, oh, I've just got a file to look at, I don't have a 12D model project, we've also added in, since 12D was first released, that it actually allows you to create an empty 12D model project, which then you can use that to read in the data. So basically, when the 12D view comes up, it's got create empty project. It creates a project which you can actually define what that's going to look like, and then so you can read in these files and look at them. So you don't even have a 12D model project. You can look at this data just by running it and create the empty project first. So summarizing for 12D view, it's free. It can read 12D model projects, including shares. It now can read and view data from a variety of sources. It can create an empty project to read data into it and look at it and examine it. And it can use an existing authorization, but more importantly for you possibly is it will run unregistered. So basically all those things that were added since we first released 12D view at the beginning of the 14 series. Where do you find 12D view? Well, if you go to our 12D model forum, it's right there, so you can download it and then install it. Or it is actually on our website. There's a thing there under community that, under product for downloading 12D view. So it's right there for you at any time to grab. And remember, it's free. Now, 12D Synergy, what on earth have they been up to? For those who don't know about 12D Synergy, contact them anytime to go through it, since it's a fantastic data management software and also handles emails and all sorts of good things. But the first thing is that they've had new premises. Basically, we've had such a rapid uptake of 12D Synergy throughout the industry, there's been major increase in the number of 12D model Synergy staff members. So basically, they've now got their own offices, their own premises, which are much larger, and they're all there together. So that's been a big thing that's happened for them as far as having to move offices and all those sorts of things during the year. There's also been major upgrades to their websites, which you can go and have a look at any time. Just go to the Synergy website. But there's also a number of interesting things they've been doing over time. And one of them is that they're creating now patch releases. Now, we did that in 12D model, but slightly different here. Often with 12D Synergy, if you want a patch release, you have to do the whole 12D server as well. They've worked on very sneakily, so now the server can stay the same. You can just update your clients and things. You can have a mixture of things. So in there, you don't have to have everybody on the latest subversion and things like that. So basically, that allows them to push out user-driven features and requests and quality of life updates, things that can be released beforehand that they might have had to keep for a major version. So it gives the patch releases, gives 12D Synergy greater scope to respond to your feedback and future requests and get them out in quicker, basically more features released in less time. So the 12D Synergy 4.2, which was released in May 2009, is the first patch release for version 4. And it included several usability efficiency enhancements. So basically you get a lot more things done with less clicks. So it's amazing how just less clicks is always so important. So some of the major features though in 4.2 was there was an image gallery, which is a scrollable visual album that actually makes things easier and faster to view, edit and manage all your images. There's also put in a toggle for thumbnail view. A version merger. Basically you could duplicate versions of files quickly and combine files, gathering them all together into a single file. So basically allow you to bring things together much more rapidly than before. The file watcher, now this is something that you can say a dedicated folder on your local computer, and anything that's added to it gets automatically uploaded into 12D Synergy. So it's basically just for speeding up and simplifying uploading multiple files. So that I think everyone will find very, very useful. It just is there watching to see, oh, yep, I've added something in, and up it gets uploaded. You can also have what they call download dependencies, the rules that actually allow dependent files such as CAD customizations and things to be automatically downloaded when the projects are open. So you can work with dependent files much easier and safer. Again, these are usability issues to make your life much easier and prevent errors. The second and final patch release for this version is going to be out later in January. So this is going to be one interesting one for you to look at, because 12D Synergy 4.3, that's this next patch, is all about mobility and efficiency with your geospatial data. So basically so you can work more easily offline with your data and basically automate tedious manual tasks. So basically the major things in 4.3 was the offlining of the data mode. So that's to simplify working offline with your data. By then you instantly identify and browse all your offline data, both in 12D Synergy and File Explorer. It also had pending files, which are tracking your 12D model output files, such as 12DAs and PDFs, and automatically upload into Synergy. And CAD publishing, it allows CAD to be published to PDF with opening any DWG. So basically you can have a DWG file there and you can actually create a PDF of it and plot it without having a DWG program, AutoCAD or something like that sitting there. So that'll allow you to get a lot of things out nicely when all you've got is the DWG and no other software. There's also internally issuing. So now you can issue data to clients within your 12D Synergy environment with the same tracking benefits of a standard transmittal. So they'll have webinars and in-depth log on these sorts of things once it comes out in February. So that's going to be a big thing for everybody. But the really big thing that continues on that which will be version 12D Synergy 5, which is going to be released at our technical forum, is basically redefining your mobility. So you'll be able to maximise your mobility and accessible to your data. Now, what on earth does that mouthful mean? Basically, Synergy 5 can launch a web browser client and mobile app for 12D Synergy. So basically, you can use it with web browsers and mobile apps. So you can stay connected to your data anywhere, anytime, whether on your phone, tablet, home computer, or even a Mac. So this is a big thing that everyone's been waiting for, so you don't have to have, say, a Windows machine for things to work. So basically, 12D Synergy 5 will hopefully take your mobility to the next level, so you can review designs on your phone. You can basically, when you're commuting, upload photos from your tablet if you're out on a site, so from your phone. So basically, there's lots and lots of extra things where you don't have to have a full computer. The other important thing that's been coming along with Synergy is the cloud, basically a 12D Synergy cloud. 12D Synergy always supported self-hosted clouds for users, but now we've got a lot of people that they need to have the IT skills and resources to an IT structure to do that. So not everyone has those things or can't get them easily or has troubles getting them. So that's where this the cloud comes in. So with 12D Synergy Cloud, it can actually all be done for you. This frees you to focus on your core business and allows 12D Synergy to do the rest. And 12D Synergy will even look after the cloud for you, or you can have your own private cloud. So now, basically it often means you can get us 12D Synergy up and running with often in about half an hour if it's up posted on the cloud. But if you're not into the cloud business or have reasons that you can't do it, we can also still provide on-premise, as it's called, so on your local machine, or your machines and servers. But for those who are thinking about things and getting up things rapidly or want the benefits of cloud, Synergy 12D Cloud does it all for you. Right, so we're almost there, finished for you. We just want to talk about some of the exciting things that you can make money out of this year. And the first is our 12D Innovation Awards. If you click on the website under 12D 20 International Innovation Awards, and shortly there'll be one on the front page as well, so you don't have to just go to there, it'll come up with the information about the Innovation Awards and what sort of prizes and things there are for you. But basically, there's over $17,000 worth of prizes and things for you, and it's divided up into other categories. And there's cash and training prizes and trophies for these various categories, which are for design, which for the prize and that are valued over $2,000, survey and construction, 12D water. We used to call this 3 waters, but we're discovering more waters, so it's just 12D water. Customization, banishing the drafting demon, and we've added a new one in for 2020, and that's BIM and visualization. So because BIM is becoming such a big part for everybody, this is a special category for it. Then there's an overall winner, which is valued at $4,000. So you can enter into any of those 6. You can enter more than one. You don't have to just go to one of them. And basically, the winner of all of it will be an overall winner and get some extra money. So information for it, you just go to our 12D website, 12d.com. It's all there for you. And a frequent question we get asked is, yes, you can enter as teams. It can be individual or teams. And basically there's $17,000 or over that in either cash, training, trophies and certificates, etc. We do also, though, for those who think they can never win anything here, there are certificates we give out for, say, a small business, a medium business, a large business and government. So there's no cash money with those, but you'll get recognised and get your name read out and everything to talk about it in those different categories. But small businesses have won some of these things just as large businesses have. So don't be put off. Anyone can enter and win these six sections. Now the final thing is our 12D Technical Forum in 2020. This is a picture from our one in 2018. So you see it's getting larger and larger. And this time the floor we're on is not large enough, so we've moved up to a higher level so we can fit in 750 people in the main room. So it's going to be a fantastic thing this year. Some of the highlights of the things who we do that if people don't know about it, is we have talks by industry using 12D model and 12D synergy. And some people have said, oh, they're usually only talks from large, big projects and customers because they're exciting. But you'll find this year there'll be a lot of talks there on things like land development and also from much smaller firms. Because yes, the big projects were fantastic and sexy, but there's more money and more small projects done than when they're all added up than the big ones. So you'll have a lot of that for you in all those areas. There's a split out to what we call the birds of a feather training sessions. That's where we then split out into a design or a survey, a 12D water and 12D synergy room, where they're really concentrating on training and going through new features and answering really technical questions. And because we're broken up in those 4 streams, you do just get the people in that area that know what, just showing what you want to see. And there are introductory things in there, so you can learn about things if you don't know much. And that's a good time you can go into some of the other areas you don't know about. And then there's more detailed work in there as well. So that's where you can really get to know some of the people who work with 12D model in those different areas. So as half our conference, we break up into these birds of a feather sessions. So you get really a lot of free training. So if you're looking at how to justify the conference or the technical forum, you get training, because it's all there. It's only users, so everything is for users. It's not a sales pitch. It's all about how to use 12D model and 12D synergy, because most people there have already got it. So we don't have to sell it to you. We're showing you how you can use it better and give you free training. There'll be technical talks on 12D Model 14 because there's a lot of features that people don't know about, even though it's been out for a while, and also what's coming along in 12D and 15. There'll also be technical talks on 12D Model Synergy 4, and then the one that's going to be released at that conference, 12D Synergy 5. There's a welcome event, which is the first evening where we all get together and discuss things for a few hours with drinks. There's a conference dinner, which is always entertaining. And we also have the Innovation Awards, which are presented at the conference dinner. That's where we actually hand out to everyone their prizes. And there's an exhibition area where we basically set up little booths of different things. It might be someone talking about 12D model macros. It might be various vendors there, survey vendors and that. So they've got their equipment there so you can have a look at what's going on. So that's available as well. So it's not just talks, not just training. You should also find out information about other products and equipment. So when? It's Sunday the 2nd, Monday the 3rd, and Tuesday the 4th of August. So, for your bosses, you're going along on a Sunday, so you're so committed, you're going your own time. We register early on Sunday morning and kick off there about 10 o'clock. The other days we start off at 9. It's in the plaza level of the Brisbane Convention Exhibition Centre. So if you've been to our previous forums, it's up one more level because that's got more rooms and a bigger auditorium. There's a special early bird pricing. So if you get in before the 15th of May 2020, it's $850 plus GST for the 3 days events, but it also includes the welcome event and the conference dinner. So if you're hard pressed to find a conference that's cheaper than ours, in fact, most of them are at least 2 or 3 times the price for the number of days and the events you're getting. How do you register? Well, you basically go to 12D website, www.12d.com, and there's the form, as I showed you before, on there to register for it. And yes, we do take credit card payments. So you can go on there and we'll send you an invoice and you can then pay it with the credit card. So it's all very easy to do, and it's a fantastic event, and just the training alone is worth more than the price of just 1 day. 1 day of training is almost the price of our whole conference. So that's some of the things that are happening in 2020. You'll see a lot more webinars and various on innovation and training throughout the year. So it's going to be very, very busy, and to say the highlight is our technical forum in August. So for Alan and I and all our 12D team and all the resellers, it's been a fantastic year. Record sales and things in 12D model, record sales in 12D synergy, record really of the amount of training we've been doing as well. There's been 700-800 people trained in just our courses for 12D model, let alone all the in-house and the other things. So it's been a fantastic year. And basically, we are looking forward to working with you in 2020 and hopefully meeting as many of you as possible at the 12D Technical Forum in Brisbane in August. So thank you.
Thanks, Lee. The recording of today's webinar will be available in coming days through the webinars page on our website and our 12D Model YouTube channel. We might pop it on the 12D Synergy YouTube channel as well, because there was a lot of interesting information in there for them too. So keep an eye on our emails and social media for details of our future webinars. We've got a great training session coming up next week with Peter Tainton. And of course, that 2020 Tech Forum in August. As Lee said, you can get all the information and registration details for that on our website. And don't forget to get in before the early bird discount ends on the 15th of May. If you need to contact us in the meantime, our details are on the screen now. That concludes our presentation for today. Thank you all for attending, and we hope to see you at future webinars.